Hey, it is Thick Madame 730 coming to you with our Quantico review, season 1, episode 13, titled Clear. All right, so we started. This episode was so good, so good. So I'm gonna try to get through this review. It's a lot of information, so bear with me, okay? So we start back where we left off. We have Alex on the phone with the terrorist talking to that scrambled voice about what to do, like what's gonna happen. Still got that bomb strapped around Natalie's waist. So the voice told her from the first time that I saw you at Quantico, I knew what you were capable of. And in order for you to stay safe, you need to just go ahead and go to work and wait for further instructions. So after they get off the phone or whatever, Natalie's apologizing to Alex, like, you were right all this time. So sorry. Elias and Duncan were pawns, and now we are too. And Alex is basically like trying to comfort her. We're going to figure this out. But Alex is kind of freaking out a little bit. Like, in real stressful, Alex doesn't handle very well to communicate or think straight or properly. She is always just, she's very good with figuring things out. But when it comes to it's a stressful situation, like, bitch got a bomb wrapped around her waist. She's like, oh my God, what's gonna do? And that is like, listen, we're gonna work this out. We're gonna figure it out. And she kind of like, you're more calm and you're the one with a bomb strapped around you. So Natalie was like, so it could be anybody we know. Alex was just basically telling her that the call that Elias made to 911 was basically a red herring, or that thing that they just make so visible that you're not looking at the other stuff. It was just basically a way to distract them about who actually was the terrorist. And Alex tells Natalie, listen, we got to go through everything. It's not just the training class. We need to look at other classes. We need to look at field counselors. We need to look at Miranda and Liam. Like, anybody that was at Quantico during the time that we were there, they are suspect. So Alice tells them we're going to find them and we're going to stop them. So then we flash back to Quantico. As y'all know, we go back to Quantico, present day. So now the classes are fully integrated. Now you got to get to, you know them. Y'all accept that y'all are one class. We see, different flashes of what's going on with everybody now that the classes are integrated. We see that since, the rooms were switched, the dude found Boots' dog tags and gave them to Alice. She still has them. We see Brandon, basically, because the girls have said that they're focused. So they're trying to not really, I guess, entertain the guys or whatever. So Brandon's still trying to reach out to Natalie. He brought her this like green health drink or whatever, and noticed that there were papers from a law firm, the envelope with the law firm insignia or their stamp on it. So that something's probably going on. And if, you watch, that she has the thing going on with her child in terms of custody. So I'm sure that that's something in reference to that. So Caleb's roommate, real nerdy, techie guy, he's looking at a drawer full of socks. So it's one drawer full of socks, and it's separated maybe like 4 different compartments, right? And it's all black socks, all folded up, same direction, looking the same. And Caleb's like, maybe choose the black pair or whatever. But what Caleb doesn't know is when the guy pulls out maybe like 6 socks in one stack, below that is a picture of one of the twins, which we're going to come to that later on. So, we see Parrish and Perales walking, and he's basically giving her a little hard time about why she still has Boots' dog tags. Oh, you couldn't make it to the mailbox downstairs in this building. Shelby and Caleb are going to talk about her fake sister, and now there's a $5 million ransom being requested. Caleb tells her that his father has connects in terms of money that's out in Croatia. I call her the agent chick, but her name is Iris. Iris is listening. And then Nima... Oh, I think I missed something. Let's go back. What I didn't tell you is that Nima was looking for Raina when they were getting ready to go to like the workout, and Raina comes in. Well, she's not in her room. Raina comes in late to the class and was like, I overslept. And so Nima's like, oh, you overslept through morning prayer? That's suspicious. So then Nima later on tells Raina, I know you were lying. I know you didn't go home for Christmas. Mom told me. Where were you at? She was like, I visited a friend. She said, I know all of your friends. And you used to tell me everything. And then Raina says, that's what you thought. So now, suspicions, you see suspicions running around in Nema's head because she thought her sister was real honest with her. You always told me the truth, and that's what you thought. So now I haven't really always been telling you the truth or putting that suspect in your mind. So Miranda and Liam are talking to the class about methods to be able to gain intelligence information from somebody that you're trying to turn into a source. How to get the information from that source informant. You have to know all the things about them, their interests, their fears, pressure points, and weaknesses. So then we go back to the field office. So Alex has now been reinstated, and she's on her way to her reinstatement interview. She can't get in, so Booth is with her, and then she learns from Booth. Nobody told her before she got there. You don't work on the top floor anymore, pimpin'. You are going to be somewhere else. She was like, well, under whose orders? And then here comes Hannah. Hannah just so happens to be Booth's ex-wife, but she is now the lead over the investigation regarding the bombing. As she tells Alex, listen, all my other people that was ahead of me, they died. And because, somebody had to spearhead it, I was next in line. And you could tell Hannah is pissed at Alex because of her position. Everybody's still mad at her because I'm sure that they all think she does not believe that Elias worked alone. They all believe it. They want to let it go. So she told her she got to prove herself. So Alice asked her, is this about Ryan? And Hannah quickly says, honey, we at work. I don't worry about those things. She was like, the stuff that you've done, the positions you've kept, that is what has me feeling the way I feel, and you need to prove yourself before we move you back to any position that you were in, which was kind of like, I guess, a full access, if you want to say, full access position when they're working on that top floor on the investigations. So she told her, listen, if we were 2 feet outside of this building, then I would tell you that I don't like your ass, basically is what she said. I tell you that you used Ryan because he cared about you. I would let you know that, but I'm a professional. So Hannah is rude. She's a bitch. But anyway, so then Alex's phone rings, and she was like, oh, that's not a bureau approved phone. You need to get rid of that. You need to go get you a new phone. And excuse me. She told her don't answer it. Well, of course, when she walked off, Alex answered it. It's the voice. The voice is telling her that they want access to the JJTTF server in room 3. Alex was like, I don't have access to that room. They were like, you a smart girl. Figure it out. So she knows she got to work something out. So her and Natalie basically come up with a plan on how they're going to do this. So first, Alex sneaks Natalie into the building. How she does that. So in the FBI, everybody's scanned. Your bag, your body, all of that. So of course, Natalie has a bomb, and that would send the sensors off without a doubt. So what Alex does is when she comes through, remember she just got reinstated, so when she's coming through now, this is her first time coming back just on her own with her badge and being, reinstated back. So what she does is she goes behind, because it kind of looks airportish if you think about it. It's like the airport, the guy standing at that monitor watching it. So she goes over by where he is and was like, I want to check my clearance. She presses this red button. Natalie comes through, which allows Natalie to come through without the bombs being detected. So we still don't have access to the room we need. Neither one of them have the access that's necessary, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to get it. So we need a key card and we need a fingerprint. We need a fingerprint for the room, and then we need a key card to access the file information. So they split up the work. They split up the responsibilities. Natalie's going to work on the key card, and Alex is going to work on the fingerprint. They determined already that the fingerprint has to come from Hannah and the key card has to come from Booth. So Alex and Natalie talk about, is it going to be uncomfortable for you to talk to Booth because you haven't talked to him in a while? She was like, oh, we'll work it out. We need this. So we go back to Quantico, and they're doing further into the lesson. Everyone has a weakness. You have to watch it. You can use their family. You can use their honesty. You can use their sexuality. Whatever hits close to home that would open that person up and make you be able to access that emotion and that feeling to make them want to give you the information. And now can you turn your own? So they have to basically investigate their class under the Myers-Briggs. Are you an extrovert, introvert, a feeler, all that kind of stuff. They're basically like filling out their own classmates in reference to that. So Iris lets Shelby know that she knows about the whole situation with Croatia and the money. And Shelby was like, that's none of your business. She was like, oh, I guess none of my government contacts in the tech world would be helpful to you. And then she walks off. So then Brandon goes to Natalie's room and it's basically like, look, I know something's going on with you. What's up? You know, I'm here for you. You can talk to me. So she basically tells him that her ex is suing her for full custody of her daughter and she don't know what to do. You know, and that's, to me, this is what I thought was so crazy. You're a man and that's your baby and that's all well and good and stuff, but this ain't like this lady is on a stripper pole. It's not like she, you know what I'm saying, is a drug dealer. She is going to become an FBI agent, and yes, it might be a dangerous job, but you can still have a family and you could take care of that baby while she go to this training class and bring that child to see her or let her see that child. Like, to me, that's just ridiculous that anybody would ever do that. Like, if the parent is not doing something that's going to harm the child, they're into drugs or they're into crime, she is going to be a law enforcement officer, one of the highest ones that you can be in this country, and you're going to give her crap about seeing her baby. It pisses me off every time they talk about that subject because I just feel so bad for Natalie that she even have to go through that. So then Shelby and Caleb, he takes her to the FBI office and they find out that the $5 million ransom that she has paid, I wish I just had $5 million to throw away, basically just to give to somebody, for somebody that you know is a fake. $5 million, you just gonna wire it for their ransom. Get the out of him. Anyway, she finds out that the $5 million was actually a fake too, in terms of the lady was never kidnapped. Her husband and her, I guess, just came up with this particular plot in order to get more money so that they can change the face of who they are as far as the fraud and the scam that they are pulling on people. So they told her, don't send any more money if you're asked and let it go. You know, you've been scammed and da-da-da-da. So she was like, they ain't finna get away with stealing my money. She told Caleb they're going to get her money back. Come on. I feel like, stop tripping and ask Iris. Like, I know that her and Iris don't like each other. She really doesn't like Iris because Iris is pushing up on Caleb. And as much as Shelby don't want Caleb, she want him at the same time. And even if she don't want him, she don't want Iris want him. So she being stubborn, but I think she really need to get Iris involved. So Miranda tells them they did well in terms of getting each other, but now it's time to apply that to the real world. So we're going to send you out to this local hangout. What did they say the name of it was? I don't know if I wrote that down. Oh, it's called the 10th Justice, which is a local D.C. hangout where corrupt congressmen, different politicos, and their aides hang out. So they're going to send them there. They give them a card. You only have one card. You only got one opportunity to get somebody to become an informant, call this card and be willing to participate. So Rena just kind of like says to Miranda, I got to go. Miranda's like, okay. And she leaves. And then Nema's like, well, where's she going? I worked the last one, because they can't be seen in public together. They can't know that they're twins. They still, outside of Quantico, have to appear as one person. So she was like, I worked the last one. She was like, well, she needed to sit this one out, and so Miranda's letting her. Whatever. We're going to see what's going on with Raina, because it's some foolery. I kind of have an idea what it has to do with, which is this whole situation with Charlie, because remember, during the Quantico times, it's the thing where Charlie got kidnapped, and Raina was the one that was able to get him to open up and get her the names. So they are giving them an hour to recruit the informant, and so we go back to the field, and Natalie finds Ryan in the hallway, and she was like, is it weird? And he's like, is what weird? Working with you and Hannah and Alex, because if you don't know, Booth actually had relationships. He was married and divorced from Hannah. When they were at Quantico, he was with Alex, and then after Quantico, he was with Natalie. So Natalie says, I like Hannah, and I'm actually getting to know Alex better. I'm going to take her to lunch and you going to pay. So he was like, oh, okay, So how a man try to open his wallet, I might try to give you like $5, try to be funny, give you a little bit of money, honey. She took that wallet up out his hand and was like, give me these dollars. And at the same time, somebody passed by so he couldn't see her when she snuck that key card out his wallet. Okay, so then Alex goes to Hannah with her new bureau issue phone. They slick. When I tell you they slick, you got to get your thing done. How you get it? They slick. So she goes to Hannah with her bureau issue phone. It's like, I can't get it to work. I can't access the network and da-da-da-da. Hannah takes it, looks at it, touches it. and was like, you know, you can't have off network access. And Alex was like, oh. She was like, this your last warning. You know what your access is. Please stop playing with me. Please let it go. And she was like, oh, okay. And she takes the phone. Well, we got your fingerprint now. So they dusted and get the fingerprint. So now they got to figure out how they're going to get into the server room. So Natalie's like, you're not going to like it, but we got to call in a bomb threat. So they call in a bomb threat. Everyone's leaving. They sneak into the room. And then we go back to Quantico. And so they're at that local hangout. They're trying to get information. They're all sitting around at the tables discussing options. All the ladies are real cute and sexy. The gentleman looking real handsome, you know, in their little button downs. One of them had on a little leather jacket. You know, he had his little swag on, doing his thing. So Caleb and Shelby are still talking about that money in terms of tracking it. And he brings up working with Iris, and she gets mad. And because he told her, you know, his dad is working with a contact in Croatia, but his favors only extend so far. He mentions Iris, and she gets jealous immediately. Like, they first initially were talking about working together to be able to, on this assignment, get an informant to flip. When he told her, dad's favors don't go too far, we need to probably, you know, get Iris. Like, we got access to somebody who got access to information. She's like, oh, no, I'm working on my own. So Natalie's working on this congressman, and she opens up about her daughter. And then he recognizes Perales as a football player. So him and Perales start talking. Then Iris follows this bus boy and starts talking to him. And then he basically busts her out and let her know that he was FBI. And, you know, basically, I knew off rip that you were FBI, whatever. So he just basically tells her, like, I knew you look too high class. You wouldn't be fooling with somebody like me. So it had to be something different. So back to the field office. We have Alex, you know, she transfers whatever the files were. I don't know what the purpose of the files are. That really hasn't been revealed in terms of what it was. But she was able to transfer them. And then as everyone's walking out the building, Booth sees that Natalie nor Alex are anywhere to be seen in terms of the people leaving out from this bomb threat. Child, Booth ain't crazy either. Booth looked in their wallet and saw that key card was gone, and he was gone upstairs. He went right back on in. So when they get all the information or whatever, Natalie is telling Alex that what the man wanted was... No. Alex was telling Natalie that the terrorists wanted schedules for the presidential candidates for next week, their security detail and movement. And Alex is like, we can't... No, Natalie said, we can't give that information to a terrorist. And then she was like, you know, basically, we have to. And Natalie was like, well, maybe we could track it. So they put a worm as an attachment to the information. So it'll ping the location when the person opens it, right? Boom, okay? So then we go back to Quantico. Perales and the dude are still talking. And the dude's going off on Perales about whatever had happened when he was playing football for the Bears. So, I believe it was the Bears. So Alice walks up at that same time, and the dude had threatened to punch Perales. He was like, don't do that, he'll sue you, because Perales actually has an open lawsuit against the NFL, you know, like as they're speaking or whatever. So that wins the dude over. He starts talking to Alex now. So then the busboy advised the girl why I knew and all of that or whatever. And she told him she saw the lawmaker give him a tip. She gave him the card to give the info, you know, so that he can, I was going to say snitch, so that he can become an informant. The Lanier boy at the table, he working all analytical sides. He's talking to Nima, and she's like, okay, basically analyze Rena. He says she's afraid to tell you the truth because she thinks you can't handle it. He says that, you know, that's just the type of person you are. Basically, she's judgmental, and she don't feel like you can handle everything about her truth. You know, even though she's the one that wears basically the hijab or whatever. I can't think of the proper name, but you know, the headdress as a Muslim woman. You know, basically, I don't know if it's that he was basically trying to say that Nima may not be able to see Rena the way she really is, but he just basically told her you can't handle it. Then they're focusing back on their assignment. He was like, well, the bartender might be my type in terms of it, because he wasn't giving Nima no play. And it might have been he might not attracted to that particular woman, but they just kind of assessed that he's probably gay and, you know, he might be nerd boy's type. So Alex is doing pretty good with her possible source, and Miranda and Liam are watching them, you know, and Miranda reminds Liam, you can't get involved with the trainee. So then Alex gives her card to the congressman or whatever, and he was like, I got a DUI that I need help getting cleared up. If I talk, you know, can you work that out? And she said, yeah, we can look into that. And at that moment, the man said, boom, gave her a card, placed on the table. He's like, you failed. Then the boy said he had some immigration issues to Iris, and she said, well, we can see about working that out. And he said, boom, you failed, brought out his FBI card. So basically, you failed. Anytime that they've been able to bring you in to exonerate their crime or whatever, and they haven't given you any information, you've compromised yourself. And they said it's better to have a missed source, you know, it's better for you to have missed being able to get the source to turn than to get the source to turn you. So they just reminded them, anytime that you are vetting people or you're basically using people's weaknesses and human experiences to get them to turn in information, they're going to do the same thing to you in order to get you to turn. So back at present day, Booth wants to know what's going on with Alex and Natalie. He said, when did we stop being honest with each other? And Alex reminded him, remember, we started off with a lie, because for those that don't know, Booth was already an FBI agent. When he went to Quantico, he was sent there to investigate Alex and some other stuff. So she told him, the Ryan that I know wouldn't need me to convince him. He would just believe it. Booth told her she needs help. Then she gets a text from Natalie saying that the worm is ready. So then they send a message. And then that unlocks the bomb. So they take the bomb off. The worm is active. Now they see where it is. It's down by a treatment plant, and they are going to this abandoned building to look. So when they get to this abandoned building, and this is when it really gets good. When they get to this abandoned building, there's a computer on the table, and the file was sent to the location, and nobody is there. So they see the computer, they see where the file was sent, nobody there. All right, so we already wondering about that. We go back to Quantico, and Perales is a little salty about what Alex has said at the bar. She apologized, and she asked him why was he here going from football to FBI. So he still had that lawsuit pending. He had a girlfriend named Licia who was killed in a shootout a couple of years ago by Chicago Police Department. 2 armed gunmen. He said that the cops screwed up. 3 people died in the crossfire. The police blamed state police, so the city police blamed state police, the state police blamed the FBI blamed the city police. So everybody just in a circle blaming each other, and nobody wants to take responsibility. He wanted to make a difference. He remembered the time and the date. He said it was October 7th, 2014 at 6:31 p.m. So Iris is again ear hustling. She is listening to Caleb and Shelby talk about running out of resources. Caleb's mad. When you need me, I'm there. When I need you, where are you? And Shelby told him so cold, but so to the point, I need you to help me, and that is it. Ain't no more. And so Caleb said, it's time that I help myself. So now Nima is in Raina's computer, and she sees that she's been chatting with the terrorist in reference to, regarding Charlie and the kidnapper. So the assistant director, which is Mayfair at the time, wants to see Natalie. And then we flash back to present day. So they're trying to figure out, this computer sitting here, why do they leave in a panic? Alex starts getting calls and they keep dropping. So she goes outside because there is no signal. As soon as she goes outside, Natalie's sitting there, she's putting on gloves, she's going to investigate. And the computer screen just looks like, you know how if you set a piece of paper on fire and the fire will spread like in a circle, or it'll spread out. That's how it looked on the computer screen. Alex gets outside and gets that call, and as soon as she outside and get that call, she say listen, I'm trying to calm down because this was so good in terms of what's going on. So when she got the call, the terrorist is like, you didn't listen. And she's like, what are you talking about? And then boom, the building blows up. She started running back towards the building, trying to see about Natalie. That had worried my nerves so bad when that building blew. I knew it was coming. When I saw that computer, I knew it was going to blow up. I was like, girl, Natalie, get your out of that building. Anyway, so we go back to Quantico, and Miranda calls Natalie into her office and say, Brandon told me I'm going to give you a leave. When you get your custody stuff handled, come back and see me, because Miranda understands what it is to be a mother, all the stuff she's dealing with Charlie, and she's a single mother, so I understand what it is for you to be a mother, and this man's trying to take your baby, and you here trying to do something with yourself. So that was that whole thing. So, and she just basically told her you shouldn't have to choose. And Alex goes to Liam about Booth's dog tags. He says no contact information about Booth or how to get in contact with him. What about New Year's? It was a mistake. So they kissed at New Year's. And Miranda's watching them because she already told Liam about getting involved with the trainees. And they were just like, basically, it don't matter. It was a mistake. Moving on. So, Miranda basically told him, when you're using human intelligence, there's no cover that can help you. So there's nothing that you can do in terms of hiding yourself and your identity when we're talking about human intelligence, because those things, yeah, you could wear a mask to hide your face. Yes, you could change your clothes. You could change where you are. But certain things about you inherently human-wise are not going to change. Your family values, your honesty, and certain of those things that people will still be able to use. So no cover you give are going to change the humanness of who you are and the intelligence that people will be able to get from you in order to mess up basically your mission. So then Iris goes to Shelby. She gives her a name of the CEO of the main internet provider in Croatia. She was like, I don't want the details of what's going on with this money in Croatia, but he's waiting to hear from you. Brandon gave Natalie a little cap, an FBI cap for her daughter. Alex says bye to Natalie, and Natalie Jones, it was cute. She was like, wherever I am, I'm always better than you, which was just, cute. They have that kind of relationship where it's kind of been, we like each other, but we really don't. We in competition, but we like each other, and we are women. We have each other bad, but we don't like each other, right? So the nerd boy pulls out his sock drawer. Now it's empty. And now you see in each one of these little stations, he got like 4 pictures in this row, 4 pictures in this row of everybody in the classes. And he puts an X through one of the twins' faces. So, and there's a couple X's through the other people's faces. And so then we see Nima following Raina, talking to some unknown dude on a porch. Alex starts researching the Chicago situation, and she sees Liam in a picture. So the same situation that happened with, Quantico kind of brings it back together and does all that. But the same Chicago shootout that Paralysis' girlfriend was killed in is the same shootout that Ryan and Liam were at as FBI agents. So that's going to come back into play, I feel like, especially with Paralysis being a trainee at that class. So we come back to present day. Alex runs to Boo. She's crying. She's hysterical. She's going crazy. Natalie just blew the hell up. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't supposed to be pursuing this. Like, you stole files out the server room. You stole somebody's fingerprint. You stole somebody's key card. You sent file information, FBI information, security detail for presidential candidates. All of that information you have now sent to somebody, and now Natalie is dead as a result of it. She's like, I can't take it. I can't fix it. I can't take it. He was like, you want me to check you in the hospital? She's like, yeah, check me into the hospital. Check me to the hospital. So he said, you got to give me your weapon. So she gave him her weapon. And then on her phone, she get a picture of herself and Booth standing in the apartment while they like right now, I'm in this room. Somebody take a picture of me and sending me that picture on my cell phone. So she know the people are watching her. So she runs out of the apartment. The phone rings, and she was like, don't hurt them, please. Don't hurt them. And the voice said, if anyone dies going forward from now, that's up to you. You got to follow instructions to the letter. Basically, are we clear? And she's like, we are clear. And that was Quantico. I love Quantico because... and this is just kind of a sidebar. So that was season 1, episode 13. I love Quantico because there are so many moving parts to this show. We got the stuff from Quantico that's going on, which is also tying into who this terrorist person is. Also tying into stuff that, happened present day, is going to happen present day. The stuff that is happening present day with these same people from this training class, the terrorists and all of that, because Just as sure now Natalie's dead, I'm sure this terrorist is going to pull somebody else into it. And they wearing my nerves with all this stressing. But it is a very good show. If you have not watched it, please get into it. Please subscribe to my channel. I am Thick Madam 730. You can find me on all my social media networks under that name, except for my Snapchat, which is Breezy F730. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share this video. I hope you enjoyed my review of Quantico. I will be coming back with my review of Blind Spot, which was off the chain. Off the chain. I appreciate you coming. Come again. Come again. Come again. Thick Madam out.